Jamaica teachers accept government's wage offer. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. The Jamaica Teachers Association has voted to accept the government's wage offer under the Compensation Review Program. The delegates, through directives from their constituents, voted on Sunday evening. When the offer was put to the vote, 629 delegates opted to accept the offer, while 147 voted against it. People entering Jamaica through the island's two international airports are now experiencing major delays as immigration officers protest the slow pace in resolving their outstanding issues and their restructuring under the Compensation Review Program. Some of the workers have also called in sick or are on go slow. 50 flights were expected to arrive yesterday, and with them already slow and donkey, can you imagine the chaos at those airports? You don't want to go to Jamaica right now. Concern is being raised that some security companies have been forcing security guards to resign and sign one-year contracts ahead of the April 1st timeline for transitioning the guards from being contract workers to employees. Last September, the Supreme Court ruled that security guards were employees and not independent contractors. President of the Union of Clerical, Administrative and Supervisory Employees, Vincent Morrison, said it's unfortunate that the companies are trying to circumvent the process even after the court's ruling. Mr. Morrison said that the move by the security companies is illegal. A man has been charged with multiple offenses after he allegedly shot and injured another man in Content Gardens in Ocheria, St. Anne on Wednesday, November 2nd of 2022. 22-year-old Tyreek Hill of Charlestown in the parish has been charged with wounding with intent, illegal possession of firearm and ammunition, and using an illegal weapon to commit a felony. Reports from the St. Anne's Bay police are that about 12:25, a man was called to the location in Content Gardens to make a delivery when he was pounced upon by Hill, who opened gunfire, hitting him. The man managed to escape and was assisted to hospital, where he was admitted. Hill was charged on March 12 after he was positively identified in an identification parade. A dispute between cousins turned deadly on Sunday night, resulting in the fatal shooting of a 2-year-old boy in Mackhill in Trelawney. The child is Adrian Campbell. A 20-year-old man is now in custody in connection with the death of that little boy. Police then caught the shooter in Duncan's in a stop and search operation. Deputy Superintendent Winston Milton, head of the Trelawney Police, said about 8 o'clock a man was sitting in his Honda motorcar with his child when his relative fired into the vehicle. The shot missed the man, hit the 2-year-old who was seated in the rear of the vehicle. Adrian was rushed to Falmouth General Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Ricardo Brown, the stepfather of the child, said that the shooter had boxed his child's mother and he had slapped them back, and ever since that day he has been seeking revenge. Meanwhile, following a robbery that occurred on Friday, March 10 in Portland Snows Hill neighborhood, 3 men were apprehended and a gun was taken from them. According to reports, the complainant was closing up her bar at 11 p.m. when a Toyota Probox motorcar pulled up with armed men inside. After pushing her into the bar and robbing her of her personal belongings and an unknown amount of money, as well as some alcohol and cigarettes, the males fled the scene. A Toyota Probox motorcar with 3 men inside was then stopped along the Major Canewood Road in Hope Bay after the police were notified. The complainant's property, a Samsung cell phone, was discovered in the vehicle along with other commodities. The men were taken into custody pending further investigations into robberies and break-ins committed across the division. Police on Friday charged a man in connection with last October killing of a mason in Winston Road in St. Anne's Bay in St. Anne. Charged with murder, possession of a prohibited weapon, and unauthorized possession of ammunition is Peter Johnson, otherwise called Rennie, 20, from Charlestown in Windsor Heights in St. Anne. Johnson was charged for the death of 28-year-old Keron Thompson from Lime Hall in the parish. Reports are that around 5:45 p.m. on Monday, October 17, residents heard of explosions and alerted them. On their arrival, Thompson was seen with gunshot wounds. He was taken to the St. Anne's Bay Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The police said following investigations, Johnson was picked up in connection with the murder and later pointed out during an identification parade. Meanwhile, 2 persons were fatally shot along the Robbins River Main Road in Westmoreland yesterday morning. They are 34-year-old Yukal Dwyer, a taxi operator of Newark's district, and 52-year-old Patricia Stewart, a farmer of Bog district. And it's reported at about 12:30, Dwyer, who operates a black 2011 Toyota Wish motor car, was traveling along the Robbins River Main Road en route to White House with Stewart as a passenger in the front passenger seat and a male passenger in the rear. The male passenger reportedly pulled a gun and opened fire, hitting Dwyer and Stewart multiple times to the upper body. Dwyer lost control of the vehicle which careened off the road and ran into a yard where it crashed into a palm tree. The police were alerted and on their arrival found both victims slumped inside the vehicle. They were pronounced dead at hospital. 14 spent shells were recovered from the scene. Onto sports. Jamaica and Trinidad clash this evening at 7 p.m. and this is after Trinidad beat Jamaica 1-0 on Saturday night. Jamaica head coach had a slew of players and tried to make them all play and said those who did not play on Saturday will get a chance this evening, which might result in another Trinidad win. By now I thought the coach had already seen which players he wanted as core, especially when he played them against Cameroon. So for him to be doing this the same trial now, it looking to be like a joke thing. And it's about time they have a core team to be playing with now. On to Premier League. On Sunday, Cavalier whip Dunbeholden 3-1, Tivoli and Falkland drew 0-0, Waterhouse beat Chapelton Maroons 3-2, Annetton Gardens moved back into the top spot to 37 points after they drew 1-1 with Mobile United. Mount Pleasant game against Portmore was postponed, and last night Mullines United totally destroyed Vere United, beating them 4-0, while Harborview clipped Humble Lions 1-0. And if you ever missed the news on this radio station, please go to YouTube, type in Jamaican Undiluted, listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.